Hello everyone, today I'm going to be talking about Corellian's Javelin because it got nerfed quite heavily pretty recently, and a lot of stuff happened to it. So I kind of wanted to just talk about is it still worth using, or is it just a useless piece of crap now that you never should touch again? Well, we're going to talk about it, right? All in all, they made 11 different changes to Corellian's Javelin, all of which are some kind of nerf, right? And I'll put them on the screen here or whatever, but you can see they added like a range drop off, they reduced the cleave, the damage and the stagger, the damage versus armor and super armor, the damage against monsters, and like when Shade uses your career skill. I kind of just wanted to see like what can it do, right now, it's just got Jarvis armored on it, my charm's got chaos. Pretty, normal setup with Sister of the Thorn here. Not really a monster killing class, but we're gonna spawn a Cataclysm equivalent Chaos Spawn and just kind of see, give this guy some pokes here. Our Radiant Inheritance gets going. I mean, it's pretty good damage still. I'm hitting him in the head a lot. If I hit him in the body, it's not gonna nuke him or anything, but on a team, where 3 people are hitting him and you're also meleeing this guy, I mean, that was what, like 20 seconds? I took half his health away. I think that's pretty good damage. The biggest nerf that I thought Fat Shark did to the Javelin was the around... Excuse me. Thank you. Was the around 80% cleave reduction that this thing got. So in the past, you'd be able to easily cleave through all these berserkers, right? Now, you hit one, right? I think the only time you can cleave through like multiple enemies is the little guys here, like Ungor archers, Skaven slaves, stuff like that. Even then, I think it's just 2. I can hit 3 Skaven slaves, I can hit 2 Ungor archers, but these are like, the very wimpiest enemies in the game. Shielded clan rat, 2, So basically, unless it's the very wimpiest enemy in the game, you're only going to be able to cleave through 1, maybe 2 if you're lucky. So definitely a huge nerf in that factor, but probably a necessary one. That way elves just can't like spam, with conservative shooter, just spam hordes with their Javelin. I kind of actually don't mind this change, even though it is a big nerf. I think it's a necessary one. It kind of makes sense if you think about it, Another big thing, they added range and stagger drop off, sort of like the throwing axes is what they say. So, just looking at the damage aspect, a close-up headshot, that's going to one-shot him. We go back a little bit, I'd call this like medium range. Still a one-shot, Back all the way over here. Still a one-shot. Still the same amount of damage, it seems. I mean, we're pretty far over here. So, you gotta be pretty far away. Even then, it still almost does enough to kill him. He's 3 health away from dying. But I mean, you're like in this room, right? That's pretty far. That's long range. So it's probably even a bigger drop off the farther back you go. But the drop off doesn't start, until you're quite far. So is that a huge nerf? I don't really think so. So they also reduced the damage against both regular armor and super armor. Super armor was reduced by about 20%, which is that's significant, while regular armor was reduced by 8%. So I mean, you can headshot. I mean, 2 headshots and a Cataclysm Storm Vermin's dead, right? A Chaos Warrior. What was that, like 5? One of those was a crit in there, so probably more like 6 regular headshots or so would kill a Chaos Warrior. And you're not going to headshot him every time. Obviously, throwing to his body, it doesn't do a whole lot. Meleeing him in the head doesn't do much unless you crit. So, you know, you definitely got to put some effort in. These heavy attacks are probably the best way if you want to melee him. Even then, it's still a lot of melee to kill a Chaos Warrior. 2 crits. 2 crits, 2 regular shots. And he's dead. I mean, there's a little bit of luck involved, but that's like, you know, the beefiest common enemy that you'll find on a map. Personally, guys, I don't really think the Javelin nerfs, while there are many of them, are that big of a deal. Outside of the cleave one, which just kind of makes it not broken anymore. The thing still does really good damage against pretty much all enemies. I mean, you have to use it correctly, right? But I still think it's pretty good. I think you could definitely have made the case that it was on the verge of being broken, if not kind of broken beforehand, just because the cleave, obviously it did more damage, so made life a little bit easier, but it still does pretty good damage. You know, we took that Chaos One's health down pretty quick. A Cataclysm monster, mind you. We can kill most things with, you know, 1 to 2 throws of a Javelin, as long as we hit a headshot. We just can't cleave like we used to. And though there are a lot of nerfs here, I don't really think they're that bad. However, I may be wrong. I want to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think about the new Javelin changes? I think they've been out for a couple weeks now. If you've gotten to use it, if you've gotten to kind of test it out for yourself, what do you think of it? You know, is it still a good weapon? Would you use it? Would you run it on any of the elves? Would you not run it on any of the elves? Let me know. I want to hear from you. Until next time, guys. See ya.